Um, the Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil. I really truly believe that that is a true statement. I'm not sitting here saying there's anything wrong with money, because I think that money is a good thing. I think the more you have, the more in the long run it will help you, especially if you gotta get in case you get an emergency or in case something does happen. But from my experience, just being is a Christian. Sometimes I wasn't a Christian, but I can honestly tell you that money does change people. You know what I'm saying? And when I was listening to E40 the other day, the song's called "Pray for Me." It's a deep song. He talks a lot about that in his songs, about how money changes people, how it takes a funeral to, for family to come back together, or how it takes a funeral for, like, let's say you haven't talked to people in a long time, but it's crazy how it takes a funeral for people to call you. And it talks about how, family only cares when something happens. And I like it because he's straight up for it. He says, it's crazy how you've been alive and people hardly ever call you, but when someone dies, they care about you. And then after a funeral, they don't care about you. Let's be real with you. Since my mother and father's death, I haven't talked to half of my family. They were there for the time being, but after that, I was completely forgotten. And you know what I'm saying? Like, things change. I have family that, like, money was the first thing they were thinking about. They weren't even thinking about me. And I could tell you from my experience that, even in church, only time that I can see that people would call me if I gave an offering, or if it was all about, oh, me, hey, what are you gonna do for me? But when it's about me, nobody cared. You know what I'm saying? I had very, very few people that cared. And I can tell you straight up, the people that did care were more like people that are not related to me, and the people that were related to me didn't even care. So I know that money is, the love of money is the root of all evil. The Bible doesn't say that money is evil, because it's not. I think it's just all how you carry it. If money is your God, or you worship money than God, then yeah, then it's an idol. But there's nothing wrong with Christian people having nice stuff. Even if you're not a Christian, there's nothing wrong with having you nice stuff. But I started thinking that since, my dad, his funeral or his celebration, it was a good celebration. But, I felt in my heart that, half of these people I'm not even going to see. Half of them are not even going to call me and text me. Half of the people that hug you are only telling you they love you because of a tragedy. And then after the tragedy, people don't care. Same thing with my mom. People only cared for a certain amount of time, and then they moved on and didn't care. I didn't hear from nobody. I think I have like a whole contact list full of people that I'm probably never going to hear from. And then the ones that I do hear from, they're legit. You know what I'm saying? But that's just keeping it real. It's one of those situations. Even my ex-girlfriend, she's only hitting me up for money, basically. And that's all she's concerned for right now is herself. But, our relationship isn't what it was. You feel me? And even church friends, they're not even true friends, because they're too concerned about their own life. It's when a death happens, they don't want to hear it. But when it's somebody else, then they start praising that person. So, straight up, that's just how it is. But you know what? My head is high. I'm working, going to the gym, working on, a little bit of Botox, working all that. But anyways,